Hello, Greg from Baseball and Whatever, back with you again for episode 3 of Consider Them Slimed. Episode 3. It's like Revenge of the Sith. Maybe it'll end in tragedy. Who knows?
Probably.
Today on Slimed, we're dedicating this episode to, we're dedicating it to the birthday boy. That's right. It's Justin's birthday week here, and we're going to have some fun at his expense. And joining me for the fun tonight is the one and only Vincent Francis Jankowitz the fourth. Vinnie, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
To our maybe two, three listeners.
Yep.
Pretty much our moms. So
yeah. And Justin probably.
And Justin, time. Yeah. And Justin too, because he will have to edit this eventually. So Vinnie, you have, like I said in previous episode, Vinnie and his lovely wife Gretchen have a baby coming at any moment now.
Yes.
Maybe during this episode, we'll see.
Oh gosh.
We'll see if we get some breaking news here. Vinnie, if you see Vinnie have to rush out of the room, you know what happens. But I'm gonna keep this recording either way. But yeah, so we're back on Slimed. Episode 2, if you don't remember, we kind of covered at least at the second half, we covered the Amazon buying MGM Studios and 50% of the rights to the James Bond franchise. And Vinny, I know you're a little bit of a Bond guy yourself. I know you've seen the Craig films, big fans of those. Are you looking forward to No Time to Die?
Yes. Yeah. So whenever they want to release it.
Whenever that comes out, right?
Yeah.
I've been dying for this to finally get started here. As you know, I'm sure I've said,
yes,
millions of times and probably a couple times earlier today. So, but like I said, we won't talk about that today because it's someone's special day. It's Justin's special day or a special week. We'll give him the birthday week. The man is turning, what is he turning? 34?
I think so.
34. Well, Justin, as you know, is the editor-in-chief of Baseball and Whatever, and definitely the senior member of this podcast.
Although he looks the youngest.
He looks the youngest, yeah. But he's definitely not. So
yeah.
No, happy birthday to our brother-in-law Justin. He is the best and we love him. Should we sing to him?
No, not okay. We shouldn't bore our fans with that.
That's probably a good idea. So really quick, the Baseball and Whatever podcast was all Justin's idea. He's the one that got started. He's on another hockey podcast or a hockey podcast called Chicago Tomahawk, and I know he kind of wanted to start one up himself. So that's how we got us involved. So we can thank him for that. And now we're recording without him. We're leaving him out on his birthday week. So look how that goes. But no, we're just here to embarrass him a little bit, do a little slime on him. We're just going to share some fun stories, fun moments we've had with Justin, just as a little tribute episode for his birthday. So, well, Vinny, you've known Justin longer than I have. You share with us some good times you've had with Justin.
Oh geez, where to start with Justin? Man, I could go in so many different ways. I guess I'd probably start with the time that we went for his bachelor party to the Cubs game. You unfortunately missed out on that. You would have had fun, but Justin is caring. Anybody that knows Justin, he's a pretty caring guy and very protective. We had to take 2 cars to Wrigley Field, and at this time they were living. I can't remember the first neighborhood that they were living.
It wasn't Oak Lawn, was it?
Yes,
it was Oak
Yep.
Lawn. Okay.
That first house.
First house. Okay.
Yep. I was thinking Oak Park, and I was like, "That's not right."
One of those oaks.
Yeah, it's all Chicago to me, coming from Freeport. But yes, so we took 2 cars, and Justin and I weren't in the same car. But as we were driving to Wrigley, we were going through the neighborhoods. We didn't take any interstates there because we stopped downtown at a cupcake shop or something like that. Yeah. And as we were driving through one of the South Side neighborhoods, it was afternoon game. So it was like probably 11 o'clock or something like that. As we were driving through, I get a phone call from Justin. I'm like, oh, maybe they got to stop for gas or something like that. And he's like, hey, Vinny, I just want to let you know that, this is kind of a rough neighborhood. And I'm just sitting in the car. I'm just like, okay, just, and
I can hear him
tell,
saying
yeah,
that.
and you can kind of tell what's a rough neighborhood in Chicago, even if you're not from Chicago. There's bars on the windows and stuff like that, and on some of the shops, and so we were driving. I'm like, oh, Justin, it's okay. I've been to Chicago before. I know what a rough neighborhood is, and I'm like, we're not getting out of the car, are we? Like, we're not walking around down here. He's like, no. I just want to let you know that it's gonna be rough for a little bit. And I'm like, Justin, it's also broad daylight. I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. I'm not worried.
You were actually just driving through Bridgeport. So.
Yeah, probably. He was just, he was very concerned that I was gonna be all worried and anxious about driving through a south side suburb city of Chicago. And I was like, Justin, I've been to Chicago before. I've actually had a bad detour in Chicago when it was me and 3 other high schoolers. We were all in high school and went to the Chicago Fire game in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Instead of taking the right interstate home, we got off on the wrong exit, and we were driving through a really bad part of town at night.
At night, right?
Even then, I was just like, we're in the car. We'll just keep driving. Like,
yeah.
Don't stop and ask for directions. We'll find the interstate. And that was the classic Justin, very concerned and looking out for somebody's story.
That's definitely Justin, keeping us in the loop, keeping us safe.
So. Yes.
Well, like I said, you've known Justin longer. I first met him. Oh God, it wasn't Freeport. It was Anna and Andy's wedding. I can't remember what year this was. It must have been 2012, I think.
Yeah,
maybe somewhere around then. But it was at Lynn and Vince's house, and Ashley had already gone ahead to wedding rehearsal or whatever. So yeah, he was over there at the house. Right away I felt like we clicked, because our first ever conversation was about MLB The Show.
There you go.
I had it on the, oh my God, I don't even know where it is now, but I had it on the PlayStation Vita, and I was showing it to him. I'm like, this thing's pretty cool. I should probably get one. And I'm like, yeah, I think you should. Let's go buy one right now. So I was like, okay, this guy, I just met him, but I think he has potential to be my soulmate. So first ever conversation I had with him. And then, like I said, just super nice. I was a little out of my element that day. So plus I just got done changing a flat tire in the middle of Freeport. So the day wasn't going so good.
Nope.
But no, it was no, I remember that. That was awesome. He was super nice to me the whole day. So
yeah, I can't imagine Justin would be mean.
Right. No, I was like, this is the nicest guy ever. So
yeah, right.
So that was the first time I met Justin. Was at that wedding. So I don't remember much after it. But
did Justin have any drinks there?
Oh God, I don't think so. I don't think. I will say though, I think. Well, you got a good drink. I got a drinking story with Justin, but you have a better one, Vinnie. So you go first. You go.
Yeah, mine. He did the best impression of Michael Scott drinking whiskey I've ever seen anybody ever do, and that was so. It was an unfortunate event. It was my grandfather's funeral, but we were all sitting around drinking, and my dad asked what I wanted, and I said, "Oh, a B&B," and Justin's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Oh, just a drink that you sip." I don't even know what it is. It might be a whiskey, or
I was gonna say, is it a bourbon or something?
Bourbon. It might be something like that. It's a brown liquor, and so I was sitting there sipping.
I think I had some too with you guys.
I think
we were all kind of sitting around. So
and we Justin took a sip and he couldn't stop coughing for a good 10 to 15 seconds, and I'm almost positive that he asked for some Splenda for it too.
Some Splenda, right?
Yeah.
We'll mix it with a little 7-Up for him or something like that. When because I remember we used to go to the beer fest in Freeport.
Yes.
And I know, he would remember Lynn was yelling at both me and Justin because we didn't have as many punches on our cards as she does.
Oh, she was really
so she
drunk
was
that
like,
day.
yeah, she was like, oh, my son-in-laws are complete pussies.
Yeah.
So we just found that funny. But I don't remember him. I remember he had a couple beers that day, but I do remember like when Ashley and I got married in Mexico and there was the open bar there. I think I did see him knock back a couple tequila shots, and I think my sister made him do it. So
that's good.
I was like, oh man, like I was like already in the bag already. So
yeah,
I was like, is that Justin doing tequila shots? Then I remember being pissed because I'm like, oh damn, I should have been there with him to do it. So
someone probably convinced him it was water because it was so hot. Here, take this, you'll hydrate.
Anything was fine, but I'm like, damn, I wish I would have been there. I don't know if he'll admit to that or not, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing something like that. So it was later in the night, but that open bar was still going. So I think, I'm pretty sure he was doing that. But ever since then, no, I haven't seen him drink anything really. So, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I think he just wants to avoid any more embarrassing stories that could come up during the podcast.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, but if it does, we'll save them for the next All Justin podcast.
Yes.
So, I think you have one more.
I do. Vinnie. Yeah. And this was kind of like that I realized Justin was like the perfect person. It was Easter, and my family always colors Easter eggs, even when we're adults. Parents always loved having us color Easter eggs because they, I guess, made my mom feel like we were still like, 8 years old. And we took one of the white crayons, how you can write on the egg and then color it, and then it shows up with the writing.
After you dip it.
Both Justin and I, without even actually talking to each other, wrote Erica Smells on the egg and colored it, and then came out, and Justin and I were both laughing at Erica, and she's like, what's funny? I was like, I wrote Erica Smells, and Justin's like, hey, I wrote the same thing too. Erica wasn't happy with either of us.
I can't imagine she would be.
No, I'm sure there was some vulgar language that was
probably
said. Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. I didn't have this written down, but I remember it was around Christmas time, and Justin has a love for Christmas music. I mean, we all love Christmas music, except
his starts in October.
His does start earlier than others, but I remember we were going somewhere. I think it might have been for Ashley's birthday. So that's in November. So they're already getting the Christmas music going and everything. And I think we were doing one of the escape rooms.
Okay.
And we were on our way there, and there was Christmas music playing. Like, we all took the same car. I don't remember whose car it was, but I remember we were all packed in there. And the Christmas song was playing, and Justin started going. When he started doing it, I forget. It might have been like Jingle Bells or something, but he was doing it to piss off Erica. So Erica was right in front of him, and he's just going.
Yep.
And I'm just watching it. Then Erica just looks at him and just goes.
Yeah. Just gives him the middle finger.
Just give him the middle finger. I was like, oh, how sweet.
Yeah. Perfect.
That was good. My other, I just have a lot of other great moments with Justin. We ran the Warrior Dash 3 times together, and I think the first time was right after the day after he got married, which is the time I remember that time I also inhaled a nice glob of mud and kind of almost threw it up there towards the finish line, but that was not a good one. But the 2 other times went better than that. And then so Justin is also a really bad influence at when that one time we went to Rivers Casino, maybe went there a couple times together, but I was doing pretty well on that green machine, and I was ready to cash out right there, and he told me to keep going, and like a drunk gambler, I listened to him.
So, what were you up?
What'd you say?
What were you up?
I would think I was closing in on $1,000.
Wow.
I think I was closing in on $1,000, and I don't
And Emperor Palpatine was just whispering in your ear.
He pretty much was. I had the little devil on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I think I was up, not right at it, but pretty close to it, close enough. And I remember, he encouraged me to keep going, and I walked away with nothing.
Was Justin also drinking at this
No,
time?
he was not. He was not.
I was picturing him with like a drink with an umbrella in it as you keep playing him just going.
I would too, but yeah, I don't think I don't remember him having one. I don't think he would, because I would have remembered that, that I would have remembered. So I lost all that money, but then I wasn't really that upset about it, because it's like, well, whatever. That's
you weren't expecting to win anyways.
Right. I mean, the 3-card poker tables were such a high, buying at that point anyway. So I'm like, well, I might as well just sit here at this big dumb thing.
Yeah.
And but I remember later that day too, he played some slot, and he threw in like $20, and he lost it in like 2 turns or something like that.
That makes sense.
So I'm just
probably went max.
Right. Probably I think he just max bet or both times, and then it just disappeared. So that I do remember. But the last thing I'll say is, I know we really enjoy seeing Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
all together. When we saw, The Force Awakens, we were on a high. When we were on Rogue One, I mean, we came out of that pumped.
Oh yeah.
And then there was The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And Justin walked out of there. He's like, I don't know if I like it, guys.
Just like, well, you didn't even know what you watched.
I didn't even know. It was like, what I have Michael Scott. I have no words. I just looked at Toby. I just couldn't put it together. So hopefully we can get back to doing that again with Justin. And the last story I'll share is like, we were supposed to do another Warrior Dash. This was like 3 years ago or something like that. I remember they had terrible rain out there where he lived, and their basement just flooded like crazy. So I remember we went to my work and we picked up a bunch of, like restoration equipment and everything. Just as like, oh yeah, I don't know what to do. This can, I pretty much told him, because he showed me the picture. I'm like, I think I can help you out with this. So we just, went to my work, picked everything up, hauled it back there. We were with Vince and everything, loaded up in his truck. And then I remember, I just taught them, hey, this is how this works. This is how that works. And they were all gung ho. Yeah, ready. Let's go. Just like, well, there's nothing for me to do here. So I just went back upstairs. I'm at his house.
Yeah.
I just cracked open a Bud Light, because that's what he had in the fridge. I was like, what, how's it going down there? I was like, well, like any good, boss would do, just told him what to do. Now I'm just, having him
supervising.
Supervising. I'll go down there, checking on them every now and again. But those are, what you
remember. I know I was going to say, I remember seeing pictures of that. You guys all them down there with the equipment, getting everything ready.
We hauled all that stuff down there, and it didn't turn out to be, I mean, it was pretty bad, but I think a lot of that, came through. But I remember, just showing the guys, this is how you do this is how you do that. And then I was like, well, they seem to have it covered. So
that might have been the same year where Justin bought weed and lawn killer instead of weed killer for lawns, and he created a whole bunch of dead spots in his lawn.
And I think he's still recovering from that.
Is he?
I think he's still recovering from that. Although I will say, last time I was there a couple months ago at his place, and everything was looking much better. So
that's good.
I do remember that though, yes, because that did some damage. So well, you know what? We probably embarrassed him long enough. We weren't even that harsh on him.
No.
We're here on Consider Them Slime. We are much harsher to our our particular targets, but this was more of just sharing some fun moments, some fun times with our I guess he's our boss. He's a president, chief boss of this pod, because we could be goners before we know it. So until he finds a better replacement,
he does. I don't think either of us could do it.
No, definitely not. So that's all on him. Justin, we love you.
Happy birthday, buddy.
34th birthday.
We'll just go 34.
34. He was born June 3rd, 1987. 7 pounds, 8 ounces. I don't know.
Are you just guessing on that?
I'm just guessing on that. I'm guessing 7, 8. I'm also guessing he lost his first tooth on the ice. That just seems like him playing hockey, maybe. We'll just go with that. Even if that's not the case, Justin, just start telling people that. Yeah. I got
it. Seems a bit too rough though for Justin. I feel like he'd be very careful. Like he probably like took tweezers and just removed it.
Have you ever seen him play hockey?
No.
I've never seen him play hockey. He said he's like, he says he's, behaved on the, I want to see him, just Hanson brother just rip someone.
Do you think that's how he actually plays? The ice, and he's just too nervous to tell us.
I think the ice can do that to a person. I'm not a hockey player. We're not hockey players, so we don't know. But I think there's something about being on the ice that can do that to it. That can change a person. I don't know. I'm just assuming that.
Yeah, so, I can see it. He's got that alter ego on the ice.
That's how I like envisioned it in my head, like how he would play. So
I think so.
Well, maybe one. I think he still plays, so maybe we can go watch him sometimes.
Yeah,
I guess. Nah, we probably won't do that.
Probably not.
We're just being nice, but we're not too nice here on Slimed. So I think you have anything else, Vinny, or we've tortured him long enough?
I think so. Yep.
Follow us on Twitter at baseball and what. You can email baseball and whatever at gmail.com. Vinny, you know anything about the Instagram thing? I don't know how to use that.
I'm on Instagram, but I don't.
I'm not even that far.
I don't get on it that much.
Yeah, I've never used it. And I was saying in my last episode,
we're on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm on. I didn't even know I was on it. Apparently, I have a follower or two. It was like, well, you're following a whole lot of nothing. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll try.
It's probably just Justin and baseball and whatever.
I'm thinking it's Justin, baseball, and whatever, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. So you have been listening to Consider Them Slimed. Thank you again, Vinny, for joining me. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll have to have you on again once we get ready to slime someone. So,
all right.
Until then, we have more episodes in store. Go check out. We just did a great interview with Andrew Reiner of Game Informer. So go check that out. And we will see you back here shortly. Take care, everyone.
See you.